Well guys, I've finally done it. The AI uprising is finally here and it is absolutely not my fault. I swear. Planning for holidays can be very daunting, and frankly, I just want to relax. So before AI takes over the world and enslaves all of us mortals to be their servants, I'm gonna take advantage of new technology and have AI do my planning for a beginner's trip to Japan's three most popular cities: Osaka, Kyoto, and Tokyo. Shit, I'm really becoming a YouTuber. So let's just get on with it. Cut to the plane part. Luck was finally on my side. There were no crying babies on the flight. I guess I didn't have to ask the bot that after all. Since I do not have the guts to do a mukbang among a bunch of strangers, future me will tell you how present me feels about this food. Damn! This was the best yakisoba I had in Singapore. And I say Singapore despite being on a plane because it's all catered by Singapore. So I ask you this. Why is our yakisoba at home either $20 or it tastes like ass? One good thing about overnight flights is personally the sunrise. Like, damn, sometimes I wanna be a bird. Being in a strange land far from home may be intimidating for some, but this is one situation I cannot rely on a bot for. And my military training has taught me that for all first days of a trip, we must first scout out the land near our base. When booking a place to stay in Japan, I have but two requirements. 1. A good view. 2. A good location, more specifically near a market or convenience store. And for Osaka, the hotspot we've chosen to base near would be the famous Dotonbori, modeled after the famous in-game location Tsutenkaku of the world-famous Yakuza series. The attention to detail was just immaculate, even recreating the donkey ride in real life. Not really wanting to queue for hours, we settled in one of the many stores here called Tokuhara Kosan that sells an Osakan staple, kushikatsu, or deep fried skewers. The difference between this and the more commonly known tempura, I'd say, is that the crust is slightly thicker for this one and tougher due to the addition of breadcrumbs in the batter.
You know what's what?
No.
To me, this looks like a
Tap it on, boy.
mozzarella stick. So
And apparently you're supposed to be able to dip them in sauce, but I assume they just stopped that due to the pandemic, so we just drip them on instead. If that's wrong, please don't shoot me. Alright, what do you think?
I think it's more soft.
What do you think? Ow. Hot.
I thought when you say like you asked me how I taste, at first I thought you want me to like ooh sugoi and then start screaming.
it's not weird.
This isn't all we ordered, right? We still got like one more.
In hindsight, we probably should have read the menu more.
Oh my god, wait, I know why it is.
Wait, what? This was the this is the before and this is the after.
Oh my god.
Okay, honestly, I should have counted, but like. But I think like the best part would be the middle, right?
Yeah, it's like mini egg pizza. How is it?
I mean, it's nice. It tastes like the nasi lemak fish.
Yeah. Day 2 mainly focuses on the northern end of Osaka, with our three suggested locations of the day being the iconic Osaka Castle, the Nissin Cup Noodle Museum, and the tranquil Minoh Falls, famous for maple leaves, apparently. We arrived slightly earlier than our suggested time to start our day off at the Osaka Castle grounds, thinking we could avoid the crowds, but after a while you start to realize that for all tourist hotspots in big cities like Osaka, crowds are a common sight. Even if it's not filled with tourists, it's gonna be a crap ton of students on excursion either way, which is a far cry to the kind I'm used to going with my school. If you like entering forts as much as the British Empire, you'll love this place. But I wouldn't go more than twice, as there's many other castles in Japan and only so much time and money. For breakfast, I tried myself the much raved about Lawson's fried chicken, a satisfactory cheap snack that was more of a nugget than anything else.
What do you think of the chicken?
I actually like it. I think it's quite good.
You know, if you go Moss and you buy a nugget, it's the same fucking thing.
Is it?
Yeah, in Singapore, if you buy a nugget,
Is it just like this?
Yeah.
Just like that, I discovered that the famed chicken actually has a taste alike back home in the form of Moss Burger's nuggets, albeit with a 2 times price increase for 1 extra piece. Deviating slightly from the AI's plan, we decided to have lunch on the way to the museum, specifically at the world-renowned restaurant chain from US of A, Denny's, to see what it's all about.
So yellow, Jesus.
I ordered some pork and bacon garlic rice, which had some pretty damn good garlic chips in them, but the meat was a little too chewy for my liking. My personal favorite from the restaurant, however, has to be the drinks bar, allowing you to mix cow piss, the drink, not cow's piss, with anything like melon soda. But you can probably find something like this at other restaurants in the country as well, like Caesarea or something. Despite flipping the lunch and noodle museum place on the schedule, we were pretty much on time, arriving at 2 PM to the home of the international dish of university students, cup noodles. The museum itself isn't huge, with the first main attraction being the wall of expired noodles of the past.
I got a new fridge.
I got a whack.
This is where I fry my noodles.
And I got my cheese over there.
Hey boy, give me one mushroom please. Got mushroom, please.
Entry to the museum itself is free, but for just 500 yen, you can get Nissin to cut the middleman and outsource the noodle making to you. Well, not really, you just get to design the cup and choose the ingredients, but still, it's an interesting experience. We apparently missed some chicken ramen workshop that you'd have to reserve in advance, and a tasting area where you'd find rare instant noodles, which I genuinely did not see at all despite the museum being largely a one-way experience. The gift shop did have some cool stuff though. So a little backstory of why we chose this place. Essentially, one bad part of the Noodle Museum is that it is out of the way from the city center, meaning we'd have to find something cool in the north or waste our time getting a detour back. But Google came to the rescue, blessing us with a nature-filled 3-kilometer hike located on the outskirts of Osaka, roughly half an hour away by train from Namba and around 20 minutes by car. But seriously, who has a car, man? Due to a flash flood of students at the Noodle Museum leading to a half-an-hour queue for our custom noodles, we were exactly that much later on the schedule, arriving at Minoh station at 4 PM. Many stalls on the way, which I assume sold local specialties, were therefore closed, but we were lucky enough to find some still open to sell momiji tempura, or battered deep-fried maple leaves. The old lady who sold us this was very kind, despite us knowing basic Japanese, to which we repaid her by dropping a 100 yen coin in her oil by accident. I'm very sorry.
So what does it taste like?
Maple syrup. Crispy maple syrup. No, I'm serious. It's really nice.
Pleasantly sweet with a tinge of sesame and reminding me of a Chinese snack which I cannot remember the name of. This is a must try when you're here.
Until next month.
Yes, put simply, I just recommended you to eat a fried leaf.
Yeah, it's very nice.
If you have the money and time, I can assume coming here in fall when the leaves are all red would be a different way to view Osaka in that season, because, you know, more trees equals more red. Another cool thing to be on the lookout for on your hike would be the legendary CC Lemon Man. If this old man dressed in what is definitely not hiking clothes can hobble up 3 kilometers holding nothing but a bottle of CC Lemon, so can you. Once again, not sponsored. In chill weather like this, Minoh Park is a peaceful break from the hectic city and our highlights of North Osaka, with the only barrier being, well, the ability of your legs. The hike itself was rather simple, with properly paved routes and not much inclines or declines. This should take you about 45 minutes from the station to the falls itself. Returning to the city at 7 PM, there wasn't much to do but to experience the Osaka nightlife. And by that, I mean DenDen Town, Osaka's very own mini Akihabara, which I'll cover after the next day as we didn't really explore much on this night. Losing track of time, however, and with everything either closed or full, we had no choice but to dine in another traditional American restaurant. Just like back home, no McDonald's will ever be worse than mid, and the special menu items I ordered were pretty damn good. From the yuzu radish chicken one-piece tumor burger to the pudding pie and melon Fanta McFloat from the alleged retro Japanese desserts collection. Seriously, that pie is the best flavor from the chain yet. And last but not least, we ended the day off with a quintessential Japanese tradition: gacha. Have you ever felt like you've done your research, seen everything you wanted to see, until you go home to everyone telling you, "Hey dude, you missed the second coming of Jesus Christ, it was just down the road from where you were"? Well, that's exactly our theme today. For instead of the AI determining our full route, we are going to have it suggest places to go for things we already want to do. Such as shopping for specific things, because who knows more than the internet, right? Also, I'm not rich enough to keep coming back here, so in case the AI gives crap routes, I'll still have seen the things I want to see. Therefore, for the final day of Osaka, we thankfully are able to take it easy on the walking, focusing on, you guessed it, the south of Osaka, going through the hip Amerikamura, before proceeding up into the sky with the Tsutenkaku, ending our day off, very unfortunately, just missing entry to the aquarium at Osaka Bay. Deeply inspired by the vibes of American Idol, a TV singing competition which started in 2002, the Osakan government decided to have a retail and entertainment area to ride on the hype, and therefore Amerikamura was born.
I don't believe all these people have licenses.
Our first stop, Shinsaibashi Big Step, is a 7th floor mall located near the center of Amerikamura, hosting a football shop, cafes, and vintage clothes stores. But what I'd really recommend here is the innovative curved escalator. They don't make them like that back home. On a more serious note, the best shop, in my opinion, in the whole Amerikamura is right here, the Silver Ball Planet. Home to a whole bunch of retro pinball machines, this place is truly an American moment, with themes ranging from old games to movies. Each game should cost around 100 yen, and they have ones at the entrance for broke folks like us at 10 yen per game. And to get you really in the mood, they've got an old ass Coca-Cola machine, but you're apparently not allowed to drink and play, so yeah. We also caught a free idol show here too, but I didn't really know who they were, so if anyone knows, feel free to leave a comment. Of course, for all fashionistas out there, this place would be good as they have a whole line of cool clothes shops. But where I spent most of my money was at the vintage shops scattered around the area, where you can find old rare figures if you don't mind a banged up box for a decent price. I don't know why the shop that I found this in doesn't show up on Google Maps, but this is where I found them. Amerikamura Free Market, right next to some shop called Adam's Juggler. It's like a sex move or something. What I couldn't find on the maps as well was where I found this JOJO poster for 7,980 yen. It came with a free frame, which I honestly don't know if it was a scam or not. I hope not, but I liked it anyway. With that said, I guess I'd say for places like this, self-exploration would be the best, as only you know what you'd like. As tower that can see many things because high up has become a common attraction in many tourist cities, Tsutenkaku became a must-see for us newbies to the city. And very fortunately, the area is also home to many food stalls, which I will honestly say, they all look like tourist traps at first glance. But in the end, I'm also a tourist and desperate for some lunch, so we concede and dive into one of these stores. Though the beginning was pretty sus, with them giving us a compulsory 200 yen starter dish, which we maybe missed the notice for at the entrance, the food was actually pretty damn good. People ask me, is waiting 40 minutes and paying 1,200 yen while listening to the screams of the dam to see a Osakan skyline worth it? To that I say, I don't know. I just made that sentence up to tell you the general info of this building because I can't think of anything.
Wait, it's only 17 Really? You see the CC Lemon guy?
In the scaffolding, walking, turns around, it's just him.
Though not as tall as the gigantic Tokyo Skytree, the 103 meter tall Tsutenkaku is nevertheless an iconic part of Osaka in general, offering cool 360-degree views of the city which would probably look a lot cooler at sunset. For the richer folk like us, paying 300 yen more gets you the fresh air DLC, exposed to the elements, protected only by a net. And you also get a cooler photo spot, if you care about that. My main reason to come to the tower was actually inside. You see, nearly any major attraction in Japan has these exclusive pins for 200 yen, and this is where I found the Osakan one, winning myself a grandma from the world famous Yakuza games. The Osaka Aquarium Kaiyukan closes at 8 PM, with the last entry being an hour before at 7 PM. So because we got out of the tower pretty late, we could only get there on the dot at 7, as it is pretty far to the east of Osaka. One tip for the future me and anyone who wants to go is to book your tickets online, as we may have made it in then. And with that, I guess that means AI is better at planning for timings than me. Regardless, Osaka Bay has a bunch of attractions that I did not take and therefore cannot fully recommend, like the Ferris wheel and a ship ride called Santa Maria. What I can recommend is that this is the perfect place for emos to sit and listen to lo-fi. Fortunately for you viewers, it's not as anticlimactic as we felt at this point. As for you, it's right to dinner time. Hey guys, I'm in Osaka, and here are top things to get at Wendy's First Kitchen, Osaka. Number 1. Get lost. To save the end of this day from embarrassment, here's our dinner from another day where we had a day trip from Osaka that will be in the next video. A ramen restaurant where a man will shout "Ora!" at you. Aptly named,
癖が強い麺やレイは
which apparently translates to Reiwa, a noodle restaurant with a highly unusual personality. The restaurant, not being very big, was full house with a good mix of locals and tourists when we got there at 9:30 PM, which was about as expected. But if a 40-minute wait is what it takes to get in compared to what I've seen online, it's pretty damn worth it.
Today はここでクローズなんや。あ、とりあえずこう OK。1、2。
Going back to the theme of self-exploration, this place is another good example of what AI can't recommend you, because your searches are gonna have to be real specific to find a JOJO themed ramen bar. We were his last customers for the day as they closed at 11 PM, and even so, he had to decline a pretty large group behind us, so you know this place draws a crowd. His collection was absolutely mad. Like, you'd think he probably owned every single JOJO merch in existence, and this ramen shop is just his side gig to exhibit his stash. One con I can say coming this late is that his soup stock is limited and only one of us got to try it.
スープは味噌、コリアンダー、スパイシー。スパイシースープ。OK。あとは能登スープ、カレー、コリアンダー、トマトテイスト。
His dry ramen, however, is no joke either, with a range of flavors, but he mainly recommended curry and tomato when we asked him. He apparently doesn't know English, by the way. I'd say this experience doubles as both a dining and performative experience, so if you really love JOJO, here's the place to go in Osaka.
Thank you, thank you. なら仕上げるで。
Yes, sir! Magician's return!
No, you can't keep the figurine. After a while of listening to the oras, I wonder about his neighbor upstairs. Hopefully that's his house. And hopefully he has insurance on his throat.
Hi, curry!
According to my friend who tried it, the spicy broth was probably a tonkotsu base with a good amount of spice, providing quite a kick to the taste buds, compared to the rest of the food in Japan like their sweet curry. Just like in my dry ramen, the pork was a thicker cut compared to your average ramen, and was more of a cube than sliced chashu. Back home it will be more reminiscent of our Chinese roast pork. And I really can't bear to look at the footage anymore as the food was just too good. And coupled with the experience of just sitting there watching JOJO with the friendly owner, despite the language barrier, this place is another highlight of our Osaka stay. Like the owner even walked us out as we were his last customers. I didn't record that because it's kind of weird, you know, sticking camera in someone's face when he's saying goodbye. With that, this ramen ranks in second place of the 4 that we've tried in total on our trip. More to be revealed in our next few videos. You won't really need an AI's introduction to our last place. It is Osaka's largest collection of wheat products. It is DenDen Town. Once again, as only you know what series and shows you'd like, the only thing I can do is recommend you a bunch of general stuff around here to see. The main shops to see here begins around this junction and more or less ends here where the big anime store is, with some shops and an arcade at this other road. If you don't know what Animate is from my previous videos, it's basically an official store for official anime goods, so any big animes of the season and some from before will be guaranteed to be found here, along with some game related stuff and sus things. This brunch also happens to have a collab cafe, so if you happen to be in the area for your favorite series to have a collab, that's some good luck. The next place I have to recommend is Super Potato Retrocan, filled with, not potatoes, retro products from old consoles to games to Nintendo products. And you know it's all legit as they haven't gotten a cease and desist yet. Winding up with a bit of self-exploration, you'll find that there are a number of smaller anime shops that often hold good quality figures that are hard to find around here, much less for a good price, such as Naniwa Dengyosha, Surugaya, and an official Kotobukiya store. Damn, that was long. Alright, I wasn't expecting the video to take that long, but here we are. Well, in case I haven't given a decisive verdict on each location shown in this video, to wrap things up, I've got a graphical research tool used by researchers worldwide across multiple disciplines. It is a tier list. The list is mainly structured as such, with miscellaneous things like location, convenience, and price taken into account. And as a wise man once said, my list, my rules. So yeah, that's it for Osaka. For the next stage of our experiment, we'll be going deeper into nature. So see you next time.
Did you get hit by a car?